Many communities and first responders across the nation are honoring those lives lost 23 years ago. Tonight, the Norfolk Fire Department invited the community to participate in a 9/11 memorial stair climb, recreating the 110 flights of stairs climbed that very day. KTIV's Acacia Phillips was there and has a closer look at the event.
We're honoring the fallen from 9/11. It's been many years ago, over 20 years ago now, so we're just trying to do our part to make sure that we as a country are remembering those that were lost that day and have been lost since. So it's 110 flights of stairs, and that symbolizes the climb that those firefighters had on that day. Not all of those firefighters made the full climb.
Flight 11 crashes into floors 93 through 99 of the North Tower.
Most of our responders will have full turnout gear on tonight. A lot of them will be wearing SCBAs. They might not necessarily be on air, which is not uncommon if you're in a stairwell. We had a smaller group of our fire reserves, our part-time employees that have done this pretty religiously every year, and we're very proud of that group, and they've always wanted to expand it. And this year we partner with Parks and Recreation.
It's a day that nobody will ever forget, in history that something like that happened in America. And so to be able to host an event like this is an honor.
You can't help but think about what they were going through.
Were they thinking about their families as they were going through all this? Did they even know that it would be the last day that they'd be on this earth?
When we were doing our stair climb, we took our coat off halfway through, and they didn't do that. They stopped and maybe took breaks and just kept going up while other people were coming down. It's pretty hard to quit when you're thinking about those types of things going through your mind. I work alongside some of the best people in the business, and they are very important to me, and so are their families. So those people that died that day had families too, so that's just part of keeping that whole memory alive.
Teaching my daughter about it, teaching my son, all my daughters, my family about this event, what it meant to me and how it affected me in my life, and remember and pass on the stories to their kids and their generation.
A solemn day America will never forget. Organizers hope this event continues to grow each year.